stretching. All right, what's up, everybody? It is the Get Back. It is I, Louis Fletcher, and we have Daniel right to my left. Left.
Yes.
Okay. You are on my you're on my left. I get confused sometimes. I'm a confused boy. Okay, but here we are.
We are here.
11:30 p.m. at night. We just finished up a UFC Mario Batista versus Vinicius Oliveira live stream. Streamed for like 6 hours, so that was fun. Really enjoyed myself. And now we are here for the Get Back, the show. Okay,
The show.
the show,
The big one.
the big one, the big show. Well,
Well,
well, it's the big
the
show.
big show. Hey man, they don't make them like they used to anymore.
Holy shit, son. When I said big show, I'm like, oh no, I know what I'm gonna do next.
You have to. At that point, you have to. It's like whenever game comes out, you gotta do the no for sure.
You know, and I was just hearing voices in my head. I
Everyone say the Viper. I'm sick. This is great.
like so I was looking at this and like I just couldn't make it out. So like what do you see? Look at my eyes. What do you see?
What do you see?
The personality.
The personality.
Oh, they don't make them fucking songs like they used to, bro. They really don't, bro. Golly, they don't. They
Listen, all I know is that when Kurt Angle's song hit repeat 3 times, it was raps. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck.
Alright. No,
This is what happens when the women aren't here. This is what happens. The boys just sing wrestling theme song.
Well, speaking of singing songs and American patriotism, the NFL Super Bowl is tomorrow.
Yay. Yes.
And we already made our selections. We already know what teams we're picking to win. But, let's just go over the Super Bowl one last time. All right?
Let's milk this baby.
Let's milk some content out of it. Okay?
Let's milk some content out of it.
So, I made a parlay.
The gambling man over here now.
I made one. Made one parlay. And I'll just go over the parlay, right? Because, it's a Super Bowl. Why not?
Why not?
Why not put like $10 down on a little lay? Why not, right?
Why not?
So I made a little lay, all right? It's all Seahawks themed because I think the Seahawks are going to win. Okay?
Right.
I got the Seahawks money line, obviously. I have the total match points under 45.5. Under. I have Jackson Smith-Njigba for a touchdown.
Fair.
I have Kenneth Walker for a touchdown. I have Jackson Smith-Njigba for 70 plus yards receiving.
Okay.
But I have Kenneth Walker for under 72.5 yards rushing. Am I cooking?
A little bit.
I think I might be cooking. Just a touch.
A little bit.
So
Just
10,
a smidge.
For 10, it gets me 272. So, if it hits, we're going to Nobu. Okay?
Okay.
Go to Nobu again, all right? So, yeah, it's, a nice little lay to throw on the game, Because the way I see this game is like, I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think there will be touchdowns by the Seahawks. but I don't think like Kenneth Walker's gonna really just run all over this defense. I think JSN's gonna get his because he always gets his, and it doesn't matter who's lined up against him. He's going to get yards. He's going to make catches. So that's the 70 plus receiving yards in that, and also a touchdown. Like if the Seahawks defense forces a turnover, forces a four downs, like 4 and out, then they get good field position. Kenneth Walker gets like a 3 yard touchdown run or something. That's kind of where like my brain was. I was thinking of scenarios that the Seahawks would be able to score, and I'm like,
Right.
it's either
Two
JSN
ways.
or a running back from the 1 yard line. That's
Right.
That's the only ways they're scoring. And then under 45 match points. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I think the maximum it could be if that's the case is 23-20. So you're asking pretty much for about 5 touchdowns for both teams combined. I think that's a bit much. I could see it, definitely a possibility. I think that's why it's the line. It's a fair number. I don't trust this. I don't trust both offenses. I really don't. I think both defenses are very good. I think both defenses will play really good. I think they've both proven that. And these offenses are good. They're good. They're not the worst I've seen. Right? They're not the 2016 or 2015 Broncos. That won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Broncos, that was it. Yeah. You know, it's a good offense for both teams. They both have playmakers. They both have players who could score. I just feel like both defenses are going to shine here. I think both defenses have good matchups. I think, especially on the Seahawks side. But again, just I don't. I think both offenses are just kind of meh in terms of what they are. But the Seahawks just have a little bit more of meh, but JSN. You know what I mean? So it elevates them a little bit. And Drake and the Patriots don't really have that game breaker that is JSN, right? I think that's how impactful he's been this year for the Seahawks. So I think that difference maker is enough for me to pick the Seahawks, but still keep it as a relatively close game. I think both teams are very evenly matched on all aspects, but just that one difference maker, that one big elite playmaker. Christian Gonzalez is a good corner. He's a very good corner. JSN's better. He's torched everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. You're getting torched by JSN. And if Christian Gonzalez has a great game, you got to give him credit as well. We'll give him his flowers. But I just don't see that happening right now. So I think overall, I think I'm going to agree with you. It could probably be under that. I said like 17-14. I think that's a fair number. I think overall, I think this game's going to be really low scoring, really tight the whole way. It may come down to a last-minute drive, last-minute field goal to determine the whole thing. But I think just having that difference maker in JSN, that game breaker, who could blow who could blow the top off the defense at any time, I gotta lean towards the Seahawks in that one.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why people are picking the Seahawks, because we've seen JSN just torch defense. We've seen Sam Darnold throw 4 touchdowns. We've seen this run game be really good. We've seen this O-line fucking be people movers up front. And then we've seen this defense be really good and shut down some really good teams, right? The Seattle Seahawks had to go up against the 49ers and the Rams. Those are fucking tough-ass teams. Tough teams, and both in their division, too. So they've already played them before, and they've already had to go through the ups and downs with those teams. And then they destroyed the 49ers. And then they played really clutch against the Rams. And Matthew Stafford. MVP, by the way. Shout out to him.
MVP, by the way.
MVP,
Yep.
MVP. So, yeah, I think they've played better competition. And people just think that they are better. Because I think they are. I think they just have more players that are better. I don't know. You know, when it looks a little dicey against Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos, when it looks a little dicey against the Chargers, Jim, just saying there might be a place for some pause. I'm just saying. Hold on, Chad. Just saying. But no, we're Patriots
But yeah,
haters, and we're all those things.
we are Patriots haters.
Yeah, I hate them. Fuck them.
But yeah, I think overall, I think you have to go with the more sure bet, and that is the Seahawks in this one. Again, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be actually a pretty fun game if you like defenses. I think that's what's going to happen here. But I just think that Seahawks O line, that wide receiver core, Cooper Kupp may have a big game too. I mean, I won't be surprised by that. I mean, never count him out either. But I just think when you compare both teams, you break it down by minute details. The one standout is JSN, and that Sam Darnold for some reason, some way, somehow, can get him the football. So yeah,
We shall see on Sunday night. Great weather in Santa Clara. Both
gonna be
teams
great.
are looking to fucking make history once again.
We're gonna have Bad Bunny.
Whoo, it's gonna be
At the
so
halftime.
fucking. Oh, it's gonna be so good, dude. Roger Goodell said it won't be political. It won't be political, guys. Guys.
Guys. I promise.
Like, why would I blink
Uh-huh.
twice if it's gonna be political? Why would I blink twice?
Well, yeah, why would I? It's not gonna be political, guys. I'm just saying. It's really not gonna be political. I promise. I promise.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. Oh man, and also if you're watching that alternate halftime show, you're a fucking dork. You're a dork. You're a fucking dork. I'm sorry. You are. Ooh, I want to say other things, but I'll say it off string. Okay.
Off string.
Keep it off.
Casual
string.
Tuesday.
Casual Tuesday. You're not great. Okay. So there you have our last minute Super Bowl predictions. I still have Seahawks. You still have
I
Seahawks.
still have Seahawks.
And parlays will be made.
100%. I'm sure 100% Jess has Seahawks. Sure.
Parlays will be made.
It'll be great.
Bet slips will be written in.
Food will be eaten.
Oh,
Songs will be sung.
A lot of food.
And put money on tails.
What you're riding with this year is what you're riding with.
Yeah, sure.
That's the one lock. The one lock of the week.
One lock.
Tails. I'm telling you.
Tails never fails.
Well, speaking of something that doesn't fail, the franchise tag system in the NFL. That does not fail. And
No.
the first person to get franchise tagged this year is George Pickens, wide receiver of the Dallas Cowboys, set to be franchise tagged by the Dallas Cowboys, $28 million a year. Nice.
A lot of money.
Now, I will say, has he earned it? You're damn fucking right. He's earned it. He put up 1,400 plus yards, a lot of touchdowns. He really came out of his shell this year. He always had potential, right? He always had game-breaking ability, but he really showed it this year with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And he proved that he could be a 1A type of guy right next to CeeDee Lamb, and proved that even when CeeDee Lamb was not healthy and dealing with concussions and other injuries, he was able to step up and be the wide receiver one on that team and be amazing. So, it sucks that he's not getting a long-term contract now, but if the Dallas Cowboys are smart, you keep him. You keep him. Because he played amazing. And if you just get a couple guys on defense, who knows? You might have fucking had 10 wins. Just saying, Chad. You might have been something this year if your defense wasn't historically bad. So I actually really love this franchise tag move by the Cowboys. I think it buys them enough time. It gets George Pickens a lot of money right now, which is ultimately what most NFL players want, is that cheddar. And he gets that cheddar right up front. $28 million a year guaranteed. So he'll take it, and potentially he can probably get another contract. And if he plays the same way next year, yesterday's price is not today's price. It goes up.
Yeah.
It goes up to at least like 32 million.
Potentially more.
Just saying, Chad. But how do you feel about this move, Daniel?
Yeah. I'm in agreement. I think 28's a lot, but I think when you look at the Cowboys and what their team was last year, that offense was not the problem. Dak had a great year. When CeeDee Lamb came back, he had a great year. And George Pickens was really like a crux on that team when CeeDee Lamb went down. He was kind of the big surprise, especially numbers wise. I think it surprised a lot of people with how good he really was. And I think, like you said, I think it's a relatively good deal. It's a 1 year deal. So they still get some value from it. If they want to move on for next year, they can. That is an option for them. And I think CeeDee Lamb, he's a great talent, but he's been injury prone a lot. George Pickens kind of has been a stable, wide receiver in the NFL. He's been healthy. He plays every year. He's a crash out king, but he still plays. So I think overall, like in that regard, it's a good deal. I think you have some security from if CeeDee Lamb goes down again this year, which he might. Him and Dak have that connection already pre-established. Like I said, I think they in a relatively weak division last year. If they had a defense, they probably are a contender in some situations, maybe a playoff team, right? So I think they really had a chance to kind of go for it. I think they should go for it this offseason. They have money to play with. They have a really good offense already built. If they could get some players on defense, why not? I think that division's only kind of it's kind of changing a little bit. There's some moves being made. The Eagles had a kind of a rough year. Jim, Cowboys, maybe they have some picks. Have some Jim, Cowboys. I don't know. It could be my second team. I don't know. We'll see. Could be an option.
Ooh, interesting.
Could be an option. Could be an option. But no, I do think like overall it's a good deal. It's a smart deal for both the Cowboys and George Pickens. They both kind of get what they want. And if he has a similar year he had this year, with the full season of CeeDee Lamb, he's only going to get better. So I think overall it's a good deal for both parties. And I think if this Cowboy team can stay healthy and they can get some playmakers on defense, it's kind of a sneaky team. It really is. So overall, good move for both teams. I really do like the deal as well. So we'll see where it goes from here. But if he's able to recreate what he did this year, I think the sky's the limit for the Cowboys. I really do.
Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said about that. We touched on every single point of that. That was beautiful by us. And what I think is beautiful is this coach joining the Los Angeles Rams staff to pair
This is a weird one. I'm going to be
with
honest
Sean McVay. Cliff Kingsbury.
This is a weird one. I didn't see this coming at all.
Me neither. Clifford.
But Jim, why do I kind of love it?
I like it.
Why do I feel like we got an upgraded OC for the Rams?
Now,
I get it. Mike LaFleur is a good OC, but Cliff Kingsbury is sometimes that guy.
Now it says that Cliff Kingsbury joining Rams coaching staff. It doesn't say if he's gonna be a coordinator or any of that. He'll probably be the offensive coordinator, if I had to guess.
I think if I had to take a guess, I think he's going to be named as like the associate head coach, but he's really like the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll be the assistant to the head coach, but he'll run the offense, quote unquote. But he's not going to call plays because that's Sean McVay's job.
That's Big Daddy McVay's job. Okay, you're not fucking taking my fucking play sheet away from me.
But which is kind of why I hesitate on it, because I'm like, that's kind of a weird move for Cliff Kingsbury, because he was a great OC in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a good head coach in Arizona. So
good.
He
had 1 year.
He did something with Kyler Murray, and nobody has been able to do that since.
Good's a bit of a stretch, but I'll give you the fact that he did do something with Kyler. But good is a stretch. He's okay. He's all right.
He made Jane Daniels' rookie year really good.
He did.
How about that?
He did do that.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Okay, the brother can coach an offense. I'll say that. Okay, fair. So I think it's a bit of a weird move career wise for Cliff Kingsbury, just because he's not going to be calling plays. But I think he's still in like that realm of like he's an offensive genius, and you're pairing him with McVay, who's another offensive genius, and it's going to be two frat bros trying to redesign the wheel. It's going to be great. You know what I mean? Like this is just two bros trying to figure out how the wheel works,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be fantastic. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in that regard, it makes a lot of sense for the Rams that they get a big addition in that regard. I think McVay gets an upgrade as an offensive mind in the room, apart from Mike LaFleur. So I think if Matt Stafford wants to stay another year, you have two really good offensive coaches that are going to help you and make this team better offensively. They're going 0 on their offense. I promise you that. So shout out to the Rams, but I think it's kind of like a give and take move with Cliff Kingsbury. So I don't know. I think it's good for the Rams. It's interesting for Cliff Kingsbury, but I think for the league, it's going to be fun as hell.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you're taking the opportunity to like learn under a top 2 coach in the league. You know what I mean? Like you're taking that opportunity to learn and to kind of grow as a head coach. And Sean McVay is an offensive genius. You are yourself are an offensive genius. You're really good at coaching offense. But when it comes to head coaching, something just hasn't been there. Right? And you could say the talent on the field, but you were the head coach of those teams that weren't really that good. Right? So I think it's good for him because now he can truly learn what it is to be a successful, winning head coach. Sean McVay has won a lot in his tenure with the Rams. A lot. He has a Super Bowl as well. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. It's impressive what he's done in LA and, the way that the team is structured and everything. So, it's going to be nice to see a guy just going in and trying to learn. Because I truly believe this is what it is, right? He's obviously going to, have his input. He's obviously going to recommend things for the offense and the way they play and stuff like that. But ultimately, what I think this move is, this is like a mentorship program. Like he's gonna get mentored by one of the best coaches in the league, and then that will further make him a more attractive candidate to other teams who need a head coach. Jim,
Fair.
1 year with Sean McVay,
You get a job.
you get a job.
You get a job.
Just saying, Chad. Sounds really good.
Sounds pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Sounds pretty good.
You know what else? You know what else sounds pretty good? NFL honors. Sounds really good.
The awards.
The awards. Finally we're here at the end of the year where people now are getting their awards. Now let's start off with where do I want to begin? There's a lot of awards. Damn. 1, 2, 3. Damn. Shit. Damn. Scrolling down this list, man, far. Let's start with let's start with Coach of the Year. Mike Vrabel wins it for the Patriots.
Hard to argue.
Hard to argue it. 14-3 and going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, Coach of the they were 4-13 last year. They were awful. For me, it was either Mike Vrabel or Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion. If Kyle Shanahan maybe have made it a little bit further, there would have been a bit more credence to that. But Mike Vrabel's a great choice. He's an amazing head coach. Got to the dance with a roster that is talented, but could still be improved, right? So him being able to make it to the Super Bowl with this team and really change the trajectory of the franchise in 1 year is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, it's hard to argue. I think his turnaround from what the Patriots were last year to this year. And granted, like they did sign some players, they did kind of get, a bit better. But to make this drastic leap from, a 3-win team to a 14-win team, going almost undefeated on the road, or going undefeated on the road, is a feat that only a coach can accomplish. I think having that mentally in a player and giving them that mentality, that winning mentality right away, giving them that credibility right away is very rare. And again, like this isn't like a Patriot team full of superstars, right? It's a lot of really good and hardworking players that have been coached up really well. I think Mike Vrabel kind of has turned that needle. And Kyle Shanahan had a great year. He did. I think he played probably a bit more tougher comp and with less of a team, but I think a lot of credit goes to Kyle Shanahan and his coordinators, what they did as well. But I think Mike Vrabel overall has kind of changed that culture and New England so quickly. You know what I mean? Like Kyle's been there. He knows that room. He knows the locker room. He's established something there. You know what to expect. I think expecting the Patriots to the Super Bowl this year was unexpected. Giving them 14 wins was unexpected. That was a rare feat to accomplish. I think Mike Vrabel kind of has done a bit more with kind of the same amount that Kyle Shanahan had. Um, but I think just what really pushed over the top was the ability to go 9-0 on the road, go into opposing team stadiums and beat them. The ability to kind of take Drake May and kind of let him go, not make him into a one-dimensional quarterback, let him be both a runner and a passer, elevating his game to a next level, and creating a system and an offense and a defense that really supports both sides of the ball. I think what he's done with this team is nothing short of really incredible. So I give credit to Mike Vrabel for that. Again, it's not a team full of superstars. It's a lot of big free agency signings that maybe were a bit overpaid, but now seem worth it and now seem like bargains because Mike Vrabel has kind of coached them up that way, and they've made it into a championship team right now. So I think Vrabel kind of deserves it a little bit more than Shanahan, but I think it's a close debate. But I think Vrabel kind of deserved it more.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Next, we have the comeback player of the year. It's Christian McCaffrey, running back for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, it had to be. He put up fucking spectacular numbers here in his comeback season. Last year was dealing with Achilles injuries left and right, and he just was not fully healthy last year, and it really showed because he did not play well, and the entire team of the 49ers did not play well. But he came back this year, had 413 touches, a league high. He had 2,000 scrimmage yards, 17 total touchdowns. He was amazing. He was the 49ers offense for let me count. The whole year. The whole year he was the 49ers offense cuz he was the only guy really super healthy. And it showed because he was number 1 in fantasy for a long ass time because he was that fucking guy. Catching every pass, running every single yard. He did everything for that team, so he deserves to be comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I mean everything you just said. Well, look, when Christian McCaffrey is healthy, that Niner team is good. They just are. They're top team when he's on the field, and that's a credit to him. That's a credit to how good he is. That the Niners kind of do need him on the field to be healthy. Um, and when he is healthy, he puts up MVP type numbers. Like he's that dynamic as a running back. He's so pivotal to that offense and to that scheme. He's so pivotal to Kyle Shanahan's offense. It really is such a key part of that team. And when everybody went down, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk was out the whole year. Um, Juwan Jennings as your number 1 receiver. Uh, I think when you have Christian McCaffrey there, you have that reliability, and he stepped up in a lot of games and got them a lot of wins by himself. So I give credit to McCaffrey; he deserves it. And hard to kind of pick more everybody else. He did have a great year.
Yes, he did. Just like this guy, Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. What's his name? Drewski.
Drewski.
Learn to say his fucking name, okay? Don't you fucking disrespect this brother ever again in your entire life. The man had 17,900. What? Huh? The man had 17,000? What? Am I on crack? What is wrong with me? He had 1,793 total receiving yards, which led the NFL and set a franchise record. Scored 10 touchdowns. Pro Bowler, All Pro. He's amazing. He's fantastic, and he really kind of paved the way for that Sam Darnold kind of like continuation of his success. Sam Darnold last year had Justin Jefferson. Now he had JSN. Going from those two, like from one receiver to another, that's an amazing thing to have, right? And him and Jackson Smith and Jigba were money all year round. I mean, they did not take no break. Even when they were off on a bye week, he still had 100 yards, right? That's the type of season that he had. When he's not on the field, he's still cooking you. He's still taking your ankles. So shout out to him for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, fantastic year, fantastic player. Again, another key part of why the Seahawks are where they are. There are quarterbacks that elevate receivers, and then there are receivers that elevate quarterbacks. He's a receiver that elevates quarterbacks. Like, he's just that good. You try to get him the ball as much as possible. You design routes just for him. That's how good he is. And like you said, he'll have 250 yards on a bye week. He'll torch the bye week. Like, that's how good he is.
He'll route up
But
the bye week.
yeah, he will.
And now moving on to the defensive side of the ball. Myles Garrett, defensive end for the Cleveland Browns, broke the single season sack record with 23 sacks this year. I mean, you couldn't give it to anybody else, right? It
Yeah.
felt like his award from the moment he hit like 18 sacks. Yeah, this was him the whole entire way. And amazing, record-breaking year on a team that, didn't really have much to be excited about. But he was the one shining star in your galaxy.
Yeah.
And had a historic record-breaking year. So shout out to Myles Garrett.
I mean, they paid him so much money, and he was worth every penny. Probably should have paid him more. Like you said, broke the season single sack record. Just had a phenomenal year against that Brown defense. He spearheaded that. He's their leader back there. He made them somewhat competitive this year with a very bad offense, but yet they were still in games because of that defense. So, yeah, hard to give it to anybody else. I think when you break the single season sack record, you kind of have to earn that. You earn that award. But yeah, he's a phenomenal talent, phenomenal player. You hope the Browns can do something because he needs something. I'll take a playoff win for him. Like, he needs something. But he got paid the money. He's worth every penny. And the Browns have probably the most elite talent on one of the most mediocre teams in the NFL. So, shout out to Myles Garrett.
Yep. And also shout out to this guy, the MVP of the National Football League, Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, let's just talk about what he did this year. 4,707 total yards, 46 passing touchdowns. His touchdown to interception ratio was 5.8. That's fucking crazy. He threw for 313 more passing yards and 15 more touchdowns than the second runner-up, Drake May. And he was amazing. He was so impressive this year. He had the quarterback position on lock. I mean, and every time he touched the ball, he was making magic happen. Every time he touched the ball, it was a touchdown. Every single time he gets the ball into these receivers' hands on some crazy throws, no looks, back shoulders, right? Throwing across the middle with timing and anticipation, right? He is what a true quarterback is. When we think of the definition of a quarterback, Matthew Stafford pops up into our head. Tough, gritty, strong arm, can place the ball wherever like it's on a string. He was amazing this year, and he was the sole reason why the Los Angeles Rams were where they went to, right? He was the reason why they probably would have went to the Super Bowl as well, right? And I get it. He had Puka and he had Devontae. Who was passing him the ball? That's all I'll say. Shout out to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was between him and Drake May. But yeah, I know Stafford's probably was the best quarterback in the NFL this year. by numbers, by the eye test, by the impact, everything. And if it is his last year, what a way to go out. Um, Hopefully it's not. I think he still definitely has game left. He's proven that. So
Yeah, he said he's gonna keep playing.
yeah. So shout out to Matthew Stafford. I think it's a phenomenal achievement at his age to do this right now. Um, like you said, I think they were a game away from the Super Bowl. They were a drive away from the Super Bowl. They were a score away from it. So I think, excuse me. I think overall, like I think this award it shows how much of he's a great quarterback. Stands in the pocket, makes the right throw, he makes the right decisions. He doesn't, overcommit. When he needs a big play, he'll get it. He's so clutch. He does so many like small little details with the football. How he protects it, where he throws, how he protects his receivers. And Puka and Devontae are great, but he's able to put that ball in such a placement that they're able to make a play that he makes them better, right? If Devontae's going one-on-one, he's got that back shoulder fade perfectly. You saw it in the playoff game against Carolina where he threw that ball right to Kobe Parkinson perfectly. And Parkinson made a great catch, but he threw that ball in a perfect spot for him to make the catch. You know, so I think overall, like that's just Matt Stafford in a nutshell. He knows how to make plays. He knows how to deliver the ball to where it needs to go, and he was so clutch this year. Like he made so many clutch drives. He had so many big moments. When they needed a score, they got it. You always felt that they were going to get a score in some regard. That the answer was always coming, regardless of what the score was at the time. And like he just, if it's between him and Drake May, you kind of lead Matthew Stafford. Like he's the better quarterback. He's the better overall player, and the way that he's able to kind of the numbers show it, how he played showed it. And Drake May is good. He's really good. Stafford's just better. There's an eliteness to him that a lot of quarterbacks don't have in this league. And when you're comparing dollars to donuts, he's worth every penny. So Matt Stafford, shout out to him. Deserved MVP. Um, could be the Super Bowl. He's not, but I think he's always a threat to get there at any point with the Rams and with that team.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and let's talk about the MVP voting results because it was very close.
Very close.
Matthew Stafford had 24 total first place votes for MVP. Drake May had 23. Josh Allen had 2. Christian McCaffrey and Trevor Lawrence didn't have any, so that rounds out the top 5. One other person had a vote.
Who had the one?
It was Justin Herbert who had that one first place vote.
I don't know, Jim. I might have to change my QB rankings now because I guess Justin Herbert's a top 3 quarterback, I guess.
Oh, what a dummy. But, people, Chargers fans in the comments be like, oh, but he's the real MVP. He really put it on for his team. He was hurt all year. You see the way he threw the football. Shut up. He's not an MVP. Shut up. Not even close this year. Stop.
No. Good quarterback. Very good. If he would have had an O-line, probably would have had a better year. Respectfully, he probably would have had a better year. Right? He didn't. He didn't. I'm sorry.
It was Matthew Stafford and Drake May the whole time. All right? Don't fucking weasel in Justin Herbert here. This isn't a place where you could just fucking, I'm just scooching.
I guess if you want to make an argument for Josh Allen, okay. Sure. I could give you that. Justin Herbert? What are we talking about? This is why we have to do background checks on who's doing the voting. Because clearly somebody had a bias somewhere. Because how are you the only one? You know what I mean? How are you the only one that saw Justin? Like, we have to be in a room together and talk about this. Mm-hmm. And if Justin Herbert comes out of your mouth, we have to jump down your throat. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. And Drake May was the only guy in contention, and it was real fucking close. Real fucking close. So, Drake May, shout out to him, second MVP voting in his second year. That brother's going to be a monster for years to come, and the Patriots are only going to get better from here. Fuck the Patriots. I just can't stand them. Can't do it. Just can't do it anymore.
And how about our brand new Hall of Famers for the class of
Mmm.
2026?
Talk about it.
We have 5 of them. I have them here. Um, so we have quarterback Drew Brees.
Nice.
Shout out to Drew Brees. We like that. Deserving Super Bowl champion. Almost 40,000 passing yards. Numerous touchdowns. Clutch when it mattered. Just a dog on the field too. When you show clips of a quarterback, you show him clips of Drew Brees. Like he's just that elite.
Mm-hmm.
And he won with nothing sometimes. And he was on some very bad Saints teams, and somehow still found a way. So deserving for Drew Brees. Then you have Roger Craig of the 49ers. Super deserving, elite player. One of the old school type of players as well. Super deserving.
And first player to
Waited a
ever
long
have
time.
1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in a single season. First
Yes.
ever player to do it. That's historic.
Then Christian McCaffrey came along. Just funny how the Niners just keep getting them. Yeah, it's funny. But shout out Roger Craig, deserving. Elite, whatever you want to call him, running back, receiver. He was kind of both. And then you have Larry Fitzgerald, icon wide receiver of the wide receiver position.
I mean, can we even say an argument against him? He's sure. This is like first ballot, no contention.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah, you put him in there.
He was like he had glue to his hands half the time. You know, that's how good of a catcher he was. He never fumbled the ball. Everything his direction he caught. Just in that era when it was him, Julio Jones, Megatron, and Antonio Brown, he always stood out among the rest. So, and he had good quarterbacks to deal with, but he was just a step above a lot of them. So, shout out Larry Fitzgerald. Then we got Luke Kuechly, linebacker for the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
We've had our arguments about Luke Kuechly.
Yeah, yes, we have. yes,
We've had
we
our
have.
arguments about Luke Kuechly.
Yes, we have.
You know how I stand on it. I understand it. Congrats to him. He's a great player. He's going in the Hall of Fame. Good for him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I will say.
Okay.
If we have the clips, we'll play the clips. But if not, I just think he didn't play long enough and that he was too injury prone to be a Hall of Famer. But that's just me.
I would disagree. I think he played more than enough, and he 8 years and 5-time All-Pro and Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm just saying that's fucking pretty damn good. If he played longer, he probably would have more All-Pros and then would have been way more deserving. But he was already deserving enough.
Talking about a player who played long enough, Adam Vinatieri. Is
That motherfucker played forever.
Forever.
He did not want to leave.
Adam Vinatieri. No, he did not. His last name on the Hall of Fame ballot. He gets in. One of the few kickers to get in the Hall of Fame. Deserving, clutch. He won a Super Bowl with the Colts, I want to say. Yes? I forget if he won the Super Bowl or not. But definitely won with the Patriots. Elite kicker, clutch kicker. Again, played like 25 years. Like, the guy did not want to go away. So, he paid his dues. He was a great kicker for the NFL and did a great job. So, shout out to Adam Vinatieri. No Bill Belichick, no Eli Manning. We'll wait till next year for that. But that is the Hall of Fame in 2026.
NFL Hall of Fame. If there's no Bill Belichick, there is no Hall of Fame. I'm keeping it stack. Like he's the most winning coach of all time. Like what? Like how do you not like it's not a fluke. You know what I'm saying it's not like you can't fluke your way into the Hall of Fame. It's hard. You gotta be.
It is hard.
You gotta be like great. Now sometimes we could debate whether a
you
guy
be better
was
than great.
Yeah, you gotta be elite. Now there's some guys in the Hall of Fame that probably shouldn't be there. Probably shouldn't be there. That may have just been great. Probably shouldn't be there, but for the most part, they literally have all of the elite players from every single era. The fact that Bill Belichick is not on it is a fucking disgrace. Respectfully.
Right.
Like there's nothing else we could say. It's a disgrace. Hey, NFL Hall of Fame, fix your shit, Can. Fix your fucking shit.
The argument, and I'm not saying you're wrong because you are right. The argument is that they were punishing Bill because of the numerous scandals and like 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 the Tuck rule and the Flakegate scandal and the drone scandal and all that. Now, with that being said, that's fine. But now Tom Brady needs to be held to the same standard, right? If we're doing this, and if we're going down this route where we're punching them for a year or whatever, how long it is, you have to set the standard for Tom Brady as well. And that's going to be even more fucked if Tom doesn't get in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Imagine that. So I think all things considered, right? This is the Hall of Fame. Bill deserves to go in first ballot. He's one of the most winning head coaches of all time, elite Super Bowl winner as well. He ran a dynasty for almost a decade, 2 decades. If you're not putting him in because of scandals and because of other stuff off the field and stuff that he may have been in control of, that same standard needs to apply to every single person on that team in that organization. Every single one. So if this is just a one-off, then what are we doing? Legitimately, what are we doing? It makes no sense then. If this is going to be a continuous standard set by the NFL Hall of Fame, it needs to apply to everyone coming after. Everyone on that Patriots team, that includes Gronk, that includes Julian Edelman, that includes, the various great players that came to the organization. Numerous names. A part of that dynasty team forever how long? Robert Kraft, whoever the owners are, whoever the GM was, it was Bill Belichick, whatever. Anyone involved on those teams during those scandals and during those ideas, right, during those alleged things that happened, needs to be held to the same standard of not being in a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. That's my stance on it. Now, Bill will get in. He definitely will get in next year. When we get to Bill, we get to Tom, we get to Gronk, we get to Edelman, all those great players, if they are first ballot Hall of Famers and Bill is not, this was a clear agenda against Bill, and that is fucked. Because that's not right. That's not fair to Bill. He didn't deserve that. If it happens to Tom and everybody else, fair game. Fair game. I'll be the first to say, that's fair. You didn't do it to Bill, you don't do it to Tom, that's fair. But if Tom Brady goes into first ballot Hall of Famer because of this, you fucked up. It makes no sense. You're not setting no standard then. What was the point of it? MLB set their standard when it came to Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. They set their standard. A Hall of Fame for you. What is the NFL standard going to be in the Hall of Fame? What is that borderline? What is that borderline going to be? We'll see next year.
Yep. And speaking of lines, the NBA trade deadline. Look at that, yo.
We're locked.
I fucking cooked with that one. Let me fucking locked. So let's talk some winners and losers of the NBA trade deadline, right? So
a lot of weird fucking deals.
A lot of weird deals, right? So first off, let's talk about the big fucking elephant in the room. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still on the Milwaukee Bucks. How?
Yep. More like why?
Who, what, when, where, why? How many?
Because here's my issue with it, right? Is this has been a reoccurring thing for the past 3 years. Every trade deadline and every offseason, we go through this. Giannis wants out. He doesn't want out. There's a trade in place. He's not saying yes. He wants to go to New York. He doesn't want to go to New York. There's a 3-team deal involved. They're getting close. They're getting warmer, and then nothing happens. So what is it? Because this has been 3 years now. Does he want out, or does he want to buy it? He's already got his money. He's on a max deal. The Bucks are giving him his money. This is going to be the end of his second year. He's got 2 years left after this, right? So he's got his money. If he wants to win, it's not going to be in Milwaukee. If he wants to stay loyal to him, that's a different story. He's got his ring already, right? He's got everything he wanted there. He got a max deal. He is a star player. He is the elite talent. Does he want out or not? It's like there is no yes or no. I mean, it's either yes or no. Do you want to win, or do you want to stay mediocre in Milwaukee and be the franchise player there? There are two options here. and you're still undecided after 3 years, pick a lane and stay in it. It's like I don't know. I'm not saying this as a Knicks fan. I'm not saying it as like as a biased point of view, but this is getting ridiculous now. Like this is getting worse than like James Harden type stuff. Because Harden would force his way out of teams. Giannis is just staying put. He doesn't know what he wants to do, clearly. And if Milwaukee is holding a set price that they want to stay at, that's also wrong on them. If you want to recruit assets and you want to get the most value for your best player, you trade him as soon as you can. You don't wait, because the longer you wait, the more value goes down. So if Milwaukee wants to get this deal over the line and wants to get something back of usefulness in terms of picks and talent and young players, you trade him as soon as you possibly can. And this has been going on for 3 years now. And the value has gone lower, 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 and lower. So what is the move here? Because if we can't figure it out by the end of this next offseason, just stop. Just stop. Like it makes no sense. It's getting a bit like delusional at this point.
There's nothing else I need to say. You said everything. It's delusional. It's weird. Look, bro. He's saying everything, but I want to leave. He's saying, oh, well, the team isn't playing right, and we got to build a winner, and I'm tired of losing, and I want to be competitive. These are code languages for get me the fuck out of here. We know what it is, but Giannis could plead, I'm not guilty, because he didn't say the word, I want to leave. And it comes to a point where you're the boy who cried wolf now. Stay in Milwaukee. Stay there. We don't want, no team wants you now. Go, stay over there. Stay. There's no package that's good enough, apparently. Go. Stay in Milwaukee then. Have no semblance of direction. Have no semblance of competent front office play. Have no anything. Just be in Milwaukee for the rest of your career. Go. Because you don't want to leave. You just want to build a winner. I'm saying that for the last 3 years. Just want to build a winner. Huh. Oh, yeah. We just want to be real competitive. Haven't been. Just like, it's ridiculous. I don't get it. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
Like, if he wants to build a winner, take a pay cut. You want your team to win, take a pay cut. You're taking up half the cap space. Just saying.
Now, let's talk about James Harden. He gets traded for Darius Garland and I think like a second-round pick. So James Harden is now in the Cavs. And listen, I've been doing this for the last couple of years with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Whatever type of place you think that they're going, I'm going to tell you right now, Cavs fans, they are not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Last year was, that was the year. That was the team. That was the team that was going to take us out. That was going to take us all the way over there. Second round exit. Donovan Mitchell, when he was on these Utah Jazz's teams that were winning 50-plus games every single year and first in the West and second in the West and third in the West, guess what? Second round exits. I'm going to keep saying this till the cows come home. Donovan Mitchell cannot be your number one player on your team. He can't. He can't do it. He has not shown he can, and I don't think he can. And James Harden's not going to be the guy who's going to overtake him and be that guy. He's 36 years old. This is a very short-sighted move for the Cleveland Cavaliers, in my opinion. Now, does it make them better? Yes. I think James Harden is actually better than Darius Garland. But for how much longer? You got maybe 2 years of Harden, and that's probably it. I don't see the Cavs winning anything anytime soon in the next 2 years because of Donovan Mitchell. Am I hating? I don't know, but I just haven't seen this brother win, and we're touting him as God. Donovan Mitchell led Cavs team. What can they do? A second round exit. We know what they do. We know what we've seen it every year. We know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna win the first round pretty easily, and then it's gonna be a second round exit. Like, why are we gonna be surprised? Like, why are we having the winner of this trade is the Cavs because of the trade? But for future, they're not gonna win anything. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw this trade go through and when I heard the rumors about it, I was scratching my head from a Cavalier perspective. I get it, Darius Garland's not having a great year, and I get it. You needed a change from last year, because you had a great year last year. You needed to bring somebody in. You didn't. You know, there was no change, and you're a worse team now than you were last year. Something had to change. I get that. Darius Garland's a good basketball player. He is. He's a very good shooter. He's a very good defender, and he brings a good consistency to that lineup. He does. James Harden is a great all-time talent. He is. He is a fantastic scorer. He can put up a massive amount of points. He hit clutch shots. Go one-on-one. I get that. I fail to see how this completely changes things for the Cavaliers. To me, it's still the same team. To me, it's still the mid-team they were last year. Nothing to me has changed. And Darius Garland, I get it, he's not as good as James Harden right now, but he's still young. You still got him for a long while. And him and Donovan Mitchell are actually playing pretty well together. Why would you break up that chemistry? For what? For a year and a half of Harden before he wants out again? Like, I think the Clippers, they got a decent haul back. They get rid of the headache of James Harden, and they get a good young point guard to run that offense with Kawhi. So, all things, I think the Clippers did a great job here. And I get it, James Harden is a great talent. He is. He's up there in age. He's going to be 37. He doesn't play defense. And that Cavalier team is not the team it was last year. It's just not. I think all things considered, there's no needle mover. There's no this takes us over the top. There's no we're a top 3 team in the East because of this move now. They're not. To me, this move doesn't do that. So, with that being said, I don't love this trade from the Cavaliers. I think there were other options out there to add more depth, to add more quality, to add more consistency to this team, and you went with the most inconsistent player in the NBA, who's probably going to want out of there in a year and a half because he didn't sign there and said he didn't want to go there. Does James Harden want to be in Cleveland? Let's be honest. Does he want to be in Cleveland? Did he say, I want to be a Cavalier? Because if he didn't, he's not going to want to be there. He's done that before. I won't be surprised if we get to the offseason, James Harden's in the fat suit again. Because he doesn't want to be there. So you want to bring in a headache for what? 5 extra wins? And you'll still be 4th in the East? Maybe 5th? Possibly 6th? So where was the needle moved? I don't know. To me, I don't love this trade at all. I don't.
Yeah. We cooked with that one. We cooked. And now let's talk about a team that I found very interesting this trade cycle. It's the Washington Wizards. I'm looking at their roster, right? And when you look at Trae Young and Anthony Davis, you're like, oh shit. Boy, did they just change their trajectory overnight. Boy, do they still got a couple young pieces there. They still got a young bench. Chat, they might be something. And then you realize that Anthony Davis is made of fucking paper mache and glass. And then you realize that Trae Young hasn't played in like 3 months. This was a move for we need somebody to pay. Trae Young, you're going to get a lot of money from us because we don't have anyone else. Anthony Davis, you could come play with us. If you're healthy, great, but he won't be.
No.
He won't. And I hate to say that as because like athletes are humans too, but he won't. Right? I feel like this is like a peerless video where like he's sitting in the chair and then the interview asks him like he's not gonna Anthony Davis is not gonna play, right? And he's like I know. like,
I
like
know.
like he's just not gonna play, just won't. I mean it's cool. If this was a couple years ago, holy shit, the Wizards really are gonna have something here. But we know what they are. These players, a point guard who's small, can shoot, but can't play a fucking lick of defense to save his life, and a guy whose ankles are made of gravel or sand. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this Wizards team is there's a saying like they're a glass castle, right? It looks very good. It looks very pretty. But one cannonball is knocking out that entire base. Trae Young is Trae Young. He's a good point guard. He has his nights. Anthony Davis is nothing special anymore. He's lost his aura. And on paper, they seem like a good matchup. But are they going to play together? Probably not. Is it going to work out? Probably not. On paper, is it a good idea? Sure. Is it NBA 2K? Probably. It probably works in 2K. In real life, it doesn't work. We know that. So I think all things considered, it does. I won't be surprised if both of them get waived or cut for a salary dump again by the Wizards. And Washington has, they're trying to thunder it, bring in as much young talent as possible, see who hits, and it's kind of been working. But you need to bring in veterans to help that along and bring in great players to do that. They haven't done that. These aren't the two players to do that. So I think all things like you brought in Chris Middleton last year, that didn't do anything to help your team. You bring in Trae Young and Anthony Davis, they're winners, sure, but are they going to help this group? If they're not on the court, they're not. So what was the point? So it's like to me, again they're a glass castle. They look really good. They play really well together. But as soon as one
Oh no, he froze. Daniel has froze, and he was cooking. Chat. He was
a
cooking. Okay, he's
a
back. Chat. Chat.
here, where'd I stop? Where'd I stop?
Okay,
Where'd I get cut off?
there you go. So you got cut off where like they were talking about the young talent and like how the Wizards aren't even like they're trying to build up the young talent, but Anthony Davis and Trae Young, are these really the players for the team? And
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, I think the Wizards are trying to like thunder it. Trying to bring as much young talent as possible. And they're trying to bring in. You have to bring in veteran players to do that. You brought in Chris Middleton last year. You bring Anthony Davis and Trae Young. Are those the players to do it? Probably not. I don't think they are. I think this is a glass castle that is very fragile at the seams. Right? It's a collapse waiting to happen. And like I don't see these three moves as being, you know, what's going to elevate this franchise. And like you said, I won't be surprised if they get cut or waived in the off season. One, if not both of them. So I don't know. I think they're weird. I think Trae Young probably had a better trade partner, honestly, to go somewhere else. I think Anthony Davis had a better trade partner to go somewhere else, but they're probably not going to finish the year on the Wizards. So I guess to them, it's like we're going to vacation to Washington for 6 months and just chill here until we decide where we want to go. So
yep, it's tough. And also another move that I have in my back pocket is Jaren Jackson Jr. going from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Utah Jazz. Now, I haven't been keeping up with the Utah Jazz, but they are 16 and 37. The Grizzlies were 20-31.
Yep. Utah had first round picks too. They gave them 3 first round picks.
Now, my thing is, right, if I'm the Grizzlies, right, we're fully embracing the tank, right? Love it. Love it when teams embrace their shittiness, right? It's great. Why is Josh still on the team? Let's go full
Fair.
rebuild. Let's do it then. It seems like you got rid of a guy who was actually helping you win some fucking games. You got rid of Jaren Jackson Jr. You traded him into the same conference. And the Jazz, man, I'm not going to lie, they got some players on that team now. Lauri Markkanen, Ace Bailey, Keontae George, Walker Kessler, Jaren Jackson Jr., Kyle Flipkowski, Cody Williams, right? They got some guys there, right? They a lot of centers, a lot of big men. So let's try to trade a couple of these big men for like a really, really star forward. Maybe that could be something, or a really good defensive guard who could guard multiple positions. That would be nice. I would like that. Right? Maybe trade a Markkanen for a really nice defensive wing. See what you could find. Right? That would be good. But you just make the Jazz better. Like, this makes them so much better. And then you're sitting here with your tail tucked between your legs. You're not any better than the fucking Jazz. Don't think you are. You got Ja Morant, and then you got a bunch of guards, and then that's really it. That's it. You got Zach Edey, who's always hurt. Just fully rebuild. Just do it. Get rid of Ja. Why is he still here? Maybe in the offseason he gets traded. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
and
it's strange.
No, I think that's kind of what I was thinking too. I think it was hard for them to kind of do both, trade Ja and trade Jackson, in the same deadline. But I won't be surprised if he gets traded in the offseason because, for the credit to the Jazz, I'm not going to hate a team for getting better. I'm not going to hate a team for giving up talent to get more talent. Like, Utah clearly sees this as an opportunity to get better in the future. So shout out to them. Clearly they see something that we don't. So, and it's a young team that's getting another good young player. So you can't hate on that. And Memphis, I think, just whatever was getting built there is completely getting torn down. Has to. Hasn't worked. You're not beating any of the teams above you. You're not beating the Spurs, the Thunder, the Rockets, etc., etc. So embrace the rebuild, trade Ja, see what you can get. Let's go young. Redo it, try again. It sucks, but I think I'm not gonna say Ja doesn't want to be there. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems like that ship has sailed. You know what I mean? So get something done in the offseason, maybe at the draft. Get another first round pick that year. You're gonna get a haul for him regardless. He's a great player when he's healthy and when he's playing and not under bad influence. So I think I'm with you. Embrace the rebuild. Why are you keeping him? But I won't be surprised if they shut him down for the rest of the year. Like that to me, they have 20 wins. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. And let's another small trade we could talk about. Jose Alvarado is now on the Knicks.
Puerto Rican. Bad Bunny's a Knicks fan. Was courtside at some games. See more of him now. We have a Dominican and a Puerto Rican on the team now. It's going to be great. No, I mean, I really liked this move. I felt like this does two things. I think Jose Alvarado is a gritty defender. He's a nut. he kind of brings something off the bench that you don't have, and that's toughness, and that's a pest. That in the playoffs you kind of need. You need that player that can kind of be a pest and be annoying and be shut down opposing teams' bench guards and run with them and gas them out a little bit. You give Brunson a blow that way. Um, and look, you lost Miles McBride for majority of the rest of the year. Probably won't be back to maybe at the Eastern Conference Final. He's going to be out for a while. So this is his replacement. I think it's a good replacement. They kind of do the same thing. He's not the shooter that McBride was, but he's a better defender than McBride. And again, listen, this guy, born in Brooklyn, grew up a Knicks fan. He loves playing in MSG. He's going to play his ass off for this team. You know that. He's going to bring passion. He's going to bring energy. He's going to bring enthusiasm. He's going to have, that iconic Garden moment that's going to bring the crowd to life. You know that. So it's a trade that makes sense. It's a trade that, fits. You get rid of Garçon Yabusele. You're able to free up some cap space. And you're able to kind of, make this move happen. You give up nothing. You have 2 second-round picks. You have 9 of them, so who cares? So overall, it's a great trade. I think it helps Brunson, gives him a blow. You give him a good backup guard. You still have Jordan Clarkson. You still have Tyler Kolek. You still have a number of different options you can go to. But Alvarado can go in there right now. He's a defensive menace, and I think he brings that toughness and that greatness and that bite this team was missing. He's going to be a guard dog for Brunson and for Hart and for Towns. So I think overall that's something you need in the playoffs. You need that grit, you need that bite, you need that toughness. So I think that will help this team in that regard. I think, and he contributes a lot defensively as well, and he's able to kind of do what he needs to do, and he'll play with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. He'll bring that crowd to life when he comes into a game.
Yeah.
So shout out to I think it's a great trade.
Yeah. We went through it. We did it, Chat.
We did it, Chad.
We did it. Super Bowl week. Not much news in sports outside of the Super Bowl, pretty much. Is there anything else that we have?
Shout out to the Olympics. Olympics are fun. Go watch the Olympics. Those are pretty cool. Just started. Opening ceremonies would happen. They're in Italy.
Hey, hey, hey. C'è la luna, mezzo mare, mamma
So that should be fun.
Winter Olympics in
Italy. Northern Italy, where the mountains are. Because remember, we're bordering Switzerland, so the Swiss Alps are right there.
Oh.
So we have that mountain range. It's in it's in Milano. Milano. And Cortina. Milano and Cortina.
I'm just saying,
Northern
bro,
Italy.
I'm just saying, nah, I want some pasta right now, bro. Get some fucking pasta right now. I'm hungry. But I don't have anything else to discuss. If you don't have anything else to discuss, we could just hit the hay. We've been live for.
Well, you've been live for 8 hours. 8 hours.
I think 7 and some change.
7 and some change. I feel like I've been live for 8 hours.
That's because you just got back alive 8 hours ago.
I did.
You just came back alive. Daniel was dead because he was sick. So as men, we're dying.
Fistful. A fistful of tissues.
Why are you holding it like that?
What do you mean?
Holding it like it's a fucking 4-seam fastball.
What do you want? You want 2-seamer? You want changeup? You want your curveball? You want slider?
Oh, he's gonna throw the booger sweeper. Chad. All right, here's the booger sweeper right here. It's where you fucking do that, and then you throw it.
Listen, you blow your nose, and then you just throw it like that.
But
now listen, it sticks to your hand longer, so it comes out late. So they see it late.
You think the MLB would get on you if you were using boogers? They might.
No, they would never catch on. Pitchers and catchers report in like a week. Good transition.
Good transition. They do.
Good transition.
Go the fuck to work. All right, all of you. Fucking stop fucking around. Sign the contract, damn it.
Must be nice. I have to go to work in 67-degree weather. Ooh, in fucking Florida and Arizona. Meanwhile, it's what? What's the feel like temperature right now?
Oh gosh. Let me just
In New
pull
York?
it up. Oh, feels like -14. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. -14.
Yeah, that's
The
that's a problem.
highest tomorrow? 5. Son, the high is 5. Tomorrow when the Super Bowl starts, it'll be 4 degrees. Negative.
Godspeed. I will be at my house. I know you're traveling. Godspeed.
I'm getting in a car and I'm driving. Turn the fucking heat on. Turn the heat on. Please. Turn the fucking heat on, dude. Ay. But that's going to do it for us. We have nothing else left to discuss. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for constantly supporting the channel. Thank you guys for the stream, views earlier today. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys next week. Casual Tuesdays. Some of these
Be back with see if we're right about our Super Bowl pick. Because if we're wrong, fuck.
We're cooked, chat.
We're cooked.
We're cooked.
Massively cooked.
Massively. We got this one guy in our chat who I know will be there.
100%.
Let me tell you. My guy Jose, he's going to be there. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Peace out.
Peace out.